Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. In today's video, we are doing some Christmas baking, specifically recipes that I've seen time and time again on TikTok. There are three that stick out to me the most that I see on my For You page all the time. And that is number one, cake pops, a super easy DIY to doing some cake pops, some pretzel bites that have some Hershey's on top, and then also some hot cocoa bombs. So we're gonna give all three of those a try today. We're gonna do some really Christmas cozy vibes, and I hope that you enjoy. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. All right, you guys, so the first recipe that we're trying is the cake pops, and from all of the TikToks I've seen on this, I feel like it's pretty easy. Basically, what I've gathered is you just make a cake as you normally would and crumble it up and then put an entire thing of frosting in it, and then you just kind of make the balls and dip them in chocolate. So I got some red velvet cake mix and some cream cheese frosting, and then I got the little cookie sticks from Walmart yesterday. They were like $1.50, something really inexpensive, and then I've got some chocolate in my pantry. So we're gonna go ahead and make our cake first. So this recipe calls for 3 eggs, a cup and 1/4 of water, and half a cup of vegetable oil. So let's go ahead and add our eggs. All right. So now we have our cake mix all mixed up, and I grabbed our actual cake pan and have it greased. So let's go ahead and pour this into it, and then it's ready to go into the oven. Okay, so now the cake is in the oven. It's gonna cook for about 30 to 33 minutes, and in that time, I'm going to do some dishes and clean up the house, but I'll check back with you when the cake's done. All right, you guys, so while the cake is cooling down, I lowered the temperature of the oven down to 220 degrees, and we're gonna really quickly do our second recipe. So these are pretzel bites. So you will need some snap pretzels and some Hershey's Kisses. I was looking everywhere for the peppermint kisses, and I just couldn't find them. So we're gonna do cookies and cream, and I think they'll still be very good. And so basically, we're just gonna line a cookie sheet with the pretzels and then put the Hershey's on top. So I don't think that these have to be it's a certain distance apart. I think they're fine if you just cram as much as you can. So now I'm ready to do the Hershey's Kisses. I'm really hoping that these are all unwrapped in here, but if not, we're gonna have to unwrap them ourselves. And they are wrapped. That's okay, we'll unwrap them. And I'm just placing them right on top of the pretzels. All right, we got all of them on the pretzels. Let's go ahead and stick them in the oven. We gotta be super gentle so that they don't slide. All right, so now our pretzel bites are in the oven. They're gonna bake at 220 until the Hershey's are shiny but not melted. That's what TikTok says to do, so that's what we're gonna do. And for now, we're gonna finish our cake pops. So I've got our red velvet cake all baked up, and I've got our cream cheese frosting to add to it. First, we have to crumble the cake. So I'm gonna start with a spoon, but I think I might have to just resort to crumbling it by hand, but we'll give it our best shot. All right, so my spoon is working well to crumble it up, but it keeps spilling, so I think I'm going to move it into a big bowl, so that way when we add our frosting, I'm not trying to contain it just into the cake pan, and I think we'll have a lot better time. All right, so now we are ready to add our frosting, so I'm just taking a spatula and I'm just gonna scoop it out right into the mixture. This is definitely an arm workout, but everything on TikTok said it should turn into a dough-like consistency, and I can definitely see that happening. All right, so this has definitely made the dough consistency that everyone on TikTok talks about. So now we're ready to scoop them into the little balls. I'm gonna put them on this tinfoil sheet so that we can chill them in the fridge for some time, and then we're ready to dip them. So for now, I'm gonna scoop them into the little cake balls. All right, so I've got all of the cake pops rolled up. I do have some extra batter left over. So I think what I'll do is I will make some more balls and still dip them in chocolate, but then just not add the stick. And that way they could be kind of like a truffle. But for now, I'm gonna place these in the fridge. All right, so I just pulled them out of the oven. Obviously, I let them sit a little bit too long, but I think it worked out okay. They're a little bit shiny, but not all the way melted. So we're gonna let them cool for a little bit and then we'll pop them in the freezer. All right, so we've had a little bit of a location change. I hope you don't mind. This corner of my kitchen is not only a little darker, but it's also a little bit of a tighter squeeze. So I hope that this all turns out okay. We're ready to melt our chocolate. So I've got our pan on our stove. I've got our chocolate chips, and then I've also got some coconut oil just to add to it if needed. You can use butter or really any oil will do. I just like to add a little bit to make it that creamy melted chocolate texture. All right, so I'm gonna start by adding a little bit of the coconut oil. And let that melt. And then we'll add our chocolate chips. All right, so I've got it just cooking on low. I think because we're gonna be dipping the balls in there, we want it to be pretty chocolatey, lots of chocolate to be able to roll them around in. So I'm gonna add a little bit more chocolate chips. So that way we have a lot of chocolate for our cake balls to roll around in, make sure that they get completely coated. And then we're also gonna be using this chocolate for our hot cocoa bombs. So we wanna make sure there's plenty of leftover. All right, so this is my little setup. So we've got our melted chocolate. I've got a pan for the cake balls once they're rolled in the chocolate, and then our actual chilled cake balls currently. So what I've seen on some TikToks is that if you take the stick and dip it in chocolate first and then grab the balls, that it's supposed to help the chocolate go on better and be able to grip better. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so our cake pops are in the fridge chilling one more time and then they are done. We also have our pretzel bites done. So now the only thing left is our hot cocoa bombs. So I had ordered a round silicone, I think they're called molds, from Walmart to make our hot cocoa bombs, but they've been on back order forever and it still has not arrived. So when I was there yesterday, I found this one and it's just little stars. And I thought that that would be kind of festive. I know it's not like a real cocoa bomb because those are usually big round balls, but that's okay. We could still try it out and I think it'll turn out great. We're gonna use the leftover chocolate from the cake pops to get it started, and then we're gonna add our hot cocoa. All right, so we've got our silicone mold here and we've got our chocolate. So I'm gonna start by pouring just a little bit of the chocolate into it. And so then I'm just gonna kind of move it around, make sure that we get all the sides coated. Okay, and I think that that looks good. And then this one's gonna go in the freezer. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes and they are rock solid. So we're ready to start taking them out of the mold. I have a feeling that I'm gonna break a couple of them because they look a little bit thin, but that's okay. Let's hop over to my little hot cocoa bar and we will start filling them up with the hot chocolate. All right, so I'm gonna start trying to take these out of the mold. I'm gonna try really hard to not crack any of them, but we will see. Oh, okay, that actually wasn't bad. Huh. Okay, so that was pretty messy and I don't know like if some of these are gonna work. Like this one, I broke the edge off that one, so I don't know if it's gonna be able to mold together. But at this point, we're ready to start adding our hot cocoa mix. Okay, so I'm gonna put the hot cocoa mix in the handful that don't have cracks, so that way they can be like the ones that we seal. Okay, so I didn't really think about this when we were adding the hot cocoa powder, but the cocoa bombs have to be like level sides, if that makes sense, because we're gonna take each of the stars and melt them down a little bit and put them together. And so we need them to be all level on the side. So I'm gonna play with them a little bit, try to get them all leveled, and then we will seal the deal. All right, you guys, so the cocoa bombs have kind of turned into a disaster. So like I said, when we first pulled them out, the sides were really thin. And so as I was trying to move them or even just pick them up in general, they started to kind of fall apart. So when I just pick them up, like the warmth of my hand or whatever is making them just fall apart. So I don't think we're gonna be able to finish these. So I don't know what to do. I'm kind of sad. All right, you guys, so we are done baking. I wanted to go over the things that we put together today, starting, of course, with these cake pops. I put the cutest ones here on a platter. The rest are on the counter behind me, as you can probably see. These are just the cutest ones of the bunch. The other ones looked kind of messy, a little bit ugly, but it was such a learning curve, learning how to dunk them into the chocolate and get them all coated without making a complete mess. So if you've never done it before and you want to try it, just remember to be patient. After a couple, you kind of come up with your own strategy and it gets a lot easier. And then of course we have the Pretzel Bites. These taste amazing and they were so easy. I feel like I could sit and snack on these forever and probably will tonight. I'll probably eat way too many of these, but they are really good, super easy. Definitely something very kid friendly. If you had kiddos you wanted to bake with, definitely something really fun. And then of course the hot cocoa bombs were a little bit of a flop for me, but I feel like if we had the right molds, it would have been just fine. And I was able to still scrape it together into a mug and make some hot chocolate with it. So all in all, I feel like we had a very good win. All of these recipes were a lot of fun to make, and I'm sure even the hot cocoa bombs would have been amazing. I am super happy with the two that we did achieve, and I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I know I had a blast baking with you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Also, I'll have all of the recipes down in the description box, so while you're down there, make sure to comment letting me know which recipe you want to try out, which was your favorite. If you have tried any of these, I would love to know. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you next time. And then I've got my hot chocolate. I know it's not like a true cake bomb, oh my God. And I have put them in the freezer so they are all nice and hard